Hi, my name is Robert Usardi. I'm the creator of Blockchain Kingdoms. We turn video gaming into passive income and paid work. In this video, I'm going to be talking about Enjin Coin and why I just invested in this token. So if you're into a blockchain gaming, this is the right video for you. So this is not financial advice. I am not a financial advisor. Do your own research and make your own decisions. So my story is that I have my own blockchain gaming company, and our entire goal is to turn video gaming into passive income and paid work. We have a job system where you can basically go and pay gamers to play video games, earn you crypto using our system, and you share a piece of the pie with them. It's much better than I'm making it sound right now. Trust me. So I've been familiar with Enjin for a while. Enjin is essentially a company and a token, and this token was designed to monetize NFTs, essentially blockchain items for video gaming, so you could transfer it anywhere from player to player in marketplaces. Enjin has one marketplace now. You could create open market trading from video game to video game. And this is a great idea. I love that idea, and that's why I'm in the blockchain gaming space. Why pay $100 for a video game and get nothing in return? We can actually pay $100 for like a virtual item and be able to trade that, right? So that's why they created theirs. And I was never really into their technology. If you look even some comments I've made in the past, Enjin Coin was really not a favorite of mine, and the reason was because I felt like they didn't go far enough with their technology. That's part of why I created my company, was because I was looking at other blockchain companies and I was like, none of what they're doing is going to turn video gaming into average income for the average player. So I'm going to go and I'm going to build that. However, looking at Enjin lately and a lot of its strength, I wanted to dive a little bit deeper into why I've seen a huge movement in the price, why I've been seeing more and more people inside Discord communities and YouTube talk about Enjin. I could see that there was a lot of interest being generated around it, so I wanted to investigate why, and I'm going to share that information with you in this video. So what happened was I decided, I think Enjin is going to be a pretty good investment. I looked at the coin price, and the coin price had hit a previous high of $1.45, it was around $1.50 on Thursday, and so I was kind of looking into it here and there by Saturday, and by Saturday morning it had hit a low about $1.11, and I was still kind of fresh into investigating Enjin Coin and researching what I thought about it as an investment opportunity, and I was like, man, if it was up at 145 and it's corrected down here to 1.11, now it's a great time to buy it. So I went on to Binance and had trouble actually getting it onto Binance because I didn't have an exchange ready where I could actually transfer money from a bank account to buy Enjin Coin. So I went on to Binance to do that. Unfortunately, I had to do all this identity verification, and I'm still waiting on the identity verification, so never went through. But while I was watching it, I was noticing that here it was at 111 when I wanted to buy, waiting on identity verification, and then the price kept going up, right? All through that Saturday, and then into the next morning through Sunday, and so finally it was right around here was where I just had enough. I was like, look, it's up almost 50%. I wanted to buy it yesterday. I'm still waiting on BitTrue. I think this looks like good investment. I'm kind of tired of waiting, and so I'm seeing some very similar movements here as to Gala. When I wanted to buy Gala and I had troubles with it, I was like, let's just do it again. Let's just go through the same movement that I did when investing in the Gala token from Gala Games, and I went and I sold my large forge for around $3,000 on OpenSea from the coming blockchain MMO Mirandus from Gala Games. I'm already have a grand forge and I have a normal size forge, so I was like, you know what, if I think I can just put some liquidity into the Enjin token and actually make profit that way. So then what I did was I moved that liquidity into Uniswap, and then I bought the Enjin token from Uniswap from their liquidity pool. So and then it ended up jumping up. It jumped all the way up here to about 190. So that same day at 190 actually took just a little bit of profit, just like a hair off the head of it, and actually bought some Lost Relic items, because while this was happening, I was playing Lost Relics, doing my research for Enjin Coin and what the game was like, and I was liking it. So I went ahead and I bought a couple of NFT items for the video game Lost Relics, which uses Enjin Coin. And now it's down again, about 1.69, 178. I mean, that's pretty normal for something that just had a new all-time high. But overall, I'm very excited to share with you what I know about Enjin Coin. So when I first researched Enjin Coin a long time ago, I just wasn't into it. I felt like they did not take their idea far enough. So I kind of ignored it for a very long time. Also, their games are pretty crappy. Hopefully none of the developers who are developing Enjin games that are out in the wild take any offense. None of them were for me. I didn't see any video games that I liked. So I kind of ignored it for a long time. And then the first thing that really caught my eye was that Enjin was starting to not just be used for gaming NFTs, but like general NFTs. I didn't realize this, and I thought that was a huge value add to the marketplace. If you go to their, to the Enjin website and you look at the Enjin marketplace, you see, art tokens on there as well as gaming tokens. So I was like, okay, so that's adding a bit more value to this token. And the other thing I realized was that similar to like some of these exchanges like OpenSea, you can actually, whoever creates the NFT can actually earn a percentage of the trades that go on with that NFT down the road. I've made another video. I was talking about Mark Cuban. He made an NFT from his celebrity. He made one and just minted it himself, and he ended up getting a percentage back on an NFT that started to sell at like $20 and $50 and then $90,000, and so he would get a percentage of that back in crypto. So this is a big incentive for developers. You make a video game and you go and you throw a bunch of Enjin NFTs into your ecosystem, and then people start to trade them at a higher value. You actually get a percentage of whatever that trade is. Could be small, it could be larger. It really depends on how you want to set it. So it's like, okay, that's a pretty big incentive for developers. I could then see more and more developers using this. Another thing was that this already knew was that there's you can actually deposit ENJ into each ENJ NFT. So I already knew this, but it always worked differently than I thought it would. I always thought that like basically you would put $100 into your Enjin NFT, and then it would be basically worth like $100. And my whole thing was like, well, what? So you go into a video game and you invest a bunch of ENJ tokens into the NFT, and then your NFT is a metric powerful of that. So whatever $100 is, $200 would be twice as powerful, or something like that. I just didn't like it. I didn't like that idea. But I've noticed that people are actually looking at the value of this reserve ENJ, this reserve value, differently than I thought. Instead, what is happening, especially in the case of Lost Relics, is the developer makes an ENJ NFT, and so it might have a reserve value of, say, like $1, maybe even less, or or maybe like even 0.1 ENJ or 0.2 ENJ. As long as there's something in there, then it has at least some very basic intrinsic value. And so instead of people valuing these blockchain items at like 0.1 ENJ, instead they're valuing them at whatever value you think it provides in the game. So a good example is there are plenty of items in Lost Relics that only have a reserve ENJ value of like maybe 0.2 or 0.3, but they're selling for anywhere between 50 to 200 ENJ. And now on the marketplace, as we saw, that's that could be anywhere between $200 to $300 for some of these NFTs. Some of them are actually selling for thousands of dollars now in the Lost Relics game. So I thought this was really interesting. People were valuing the ENJ token differently than I thought they were. Instead, they were valuing it at the value it provides for the game, rather than whatever the intrinsic value was. So I think this does add another layer of incentive for people to trade them, because these items do have a very low intrinsic value of, like, whatever 0.2, 0.3 ENJ it is. But at the same time, it also has the gaming value. So I think this kind of adds another layer of people wanting to hold on to these and giving it value. And so I'm kind of reevaluating the way that I think about ENJ tokens. So this is potentially, one of the biggest ones that I think most people might overlook, is that the total supply of ENJ tokens is already reached. So there is no halving. It's not being pumped out, distributed every day, until a couple of years. Instead, what they did was, I think they released all the tokens all at once. So what that means is that we've already reached max scarcity for the tokens. Bitcoin, we're still waiting until we essentially hit max Bitcoins, right? But with ENJ, we're already there. We're already at peak scarcity. I shouldn't put it that way. What I'm trying to say is that from here on out, the token can only become more scarce, because there will never be any more. So the more video games that go out and make more ENJ items and have more reserve currencies, I mean, just by creating an ENJ item starts to increase the scarcity of ENJ, because every item contains at least a little bit of ENJ when you mint a ENJ NFT. So this was actually the one thing that made me finally decide, I should invest. If they've already met their total supply, then this will always only get more scarce, and then the price will sometimes go up in surprising ways, because that is really the expectation when it comes to having a scarce token supply. So the other big thing is there are a lot of big partnerships lately. Microsoft came out with a announcement that they're supporting Enjin NFTs inside of their Minecraft game. So who knows how big that could be. And that's one of the things that had the price jump up quite a bit. So in my opinion, it's still super early with Enjin. You guys know I am a huge Gala token bull. I love Gala games. I love what they're doing. But I'm starting to see now the potential with the Enjin Coin and the Enjin token and these NFTs, what they can provide. I'm going to make another video on how tips and tricks on how to play Lost Relics. I'm really enjoying the game. It's like Diablo. With like these blockchain NFTs that occasionally get dropped, and you can actually see what they're worth on the market. So yeah, thank you so much for watching this video. If you found it helpful, and if you haven't started with Gala Games yet, use my referral link at the bottom of this video. Get started with Gala Games. I have a massive multiplayer RPG coming out pretty soon called Mirandus. There's blockchain based, and a tower defense game coming out later this year. So thank you so much. Like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.